was that beep?
Really, up to you.
All right. So we're recording now?
Yep.
Better tell everybody formally that we are.
Okay. So yeah, we are recording right now. Welcome everybody to today's PPI board meeting. It is 8 o'clock Central European Summer Time. And we're using Zoom today instead of Mumble. Just testing it out to see how it works for these meetings. Let's see. Participating, we have Thomas, myself, Ray, Keith, and Guillaume. And missing, we have Kuhn and Nikolai. We have a couple of guests also who are just hanging out, watching. Dominic, and there's one other person too. Let me see. Oh, just Dominic. Okay, so yeah, welcome guys. Who would like to chair the meeting?
I formally propose Bailey chair the meeting.
I second that.
Okay, I will chair the meeting then. Who wants to be the secretary for this meeting?
I can do it as usual. If anyone else wants to do it, though, you're welcome to.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so Keith is going to do it, but I guess we'll all try and help out where we can. Okay, so we do have quorum. We have 5 out of 7. 5 out of 7 board members present right now. Yeah, so next is approval of the minutes. So if you look at line 43 on the pad there, there's a link to the minutes from last meeting. If you want to just give your approval or don't give your approval, whichever. And it's looking like the minutes are approved already. So thank you for that. Reports or individual reports. Guillaume, go for it.
Okay, well, for the GA, I'm looking for rooms as well as places to couch surf or sleep. Question is, do we want to be the GA, physically speaking, to be smoking, non-smoking? It is just a little detail that might have its importance.
Okay.
Furthermore, I've had an interview with journalists about the use of or the legalization of cannabis last week, and also a radio debate about the initiation of the Intelligence Service Act in Switzerland. Those were the two major things. General Assembly also occurred for Switzerland, and we have had to deal with a vice president of a local section of the Swiss Party, which illegally recorded its peers, and there is a complaint filed with the Court of Arbitration. Other legal recourses are being considered at this time. For the rest, I'm looking forward to meet the Director of Interior, which is the person that handles all the NGOs in Switzerland, in Geneva, regarding their establishment, the funding that they can receive from the state, and various other little details. That being said, today is a public holiday in Switzerland, so I'm not going to be doing too long on the call. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I apologize for interrupting you there at the beginning. All right. So yeah, it looks like I mean the Geneva GA is an item on the agenda today, so we can talk about all these details that you brought up. So for my report, I don't really have anything in particular. I'm going to get on the next membership meeting on sending out the poll tomorrow, or I guess today, because I guess it's technically Monday now. Yeah, it'll be today, early Tuesday at the very latest, but I'm gonna try and get on it today. And that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, take over. So yeah, I had massive publications come through this week, two in 1 week, so I got kind of busy. But I did do some communication TT3, and I'm waiting to send pursuant to other announcements because I really want our website, or at least the TT3 website, some proper permanent link to be up and running. Right now, if I sent them even the Pirate Times link, that links back to our website. So I want to make sure we have a framework, something set up before going super public. And I also want to send an update to our GoFundMe group and kind of get that on a routine checkup. That's it for me.
All right, thank you, Keith. Code and Nikolai aren't here. Ray, you said you have nothing to report. Thomas, you also said you had nothing to report.
Okay, a point of order.
And it looks like that's it. Oh, yeah.
Are you monitoring the Zoom group chat for people that want to speak or get messages?
I can see when somebody writes a message, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't look like anybody has. If you could help me out with that, that would be great, because I'm also keeping an eye on the agenda as well as watching Mumble to see who is coming in. So
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So I will monitor that for you. I just need to know where do I get your attention then?
Well, I mean, it's not hard to get my attention. Like we're on video and stuff. So
yeah, I've been trying for 7 minutes now. So, but okay, just forget about it. Just move on, and I'll find a way to get your attention.
I just want to check one thing, because usually we have Bastian recording. He's not with us today.
No. We are recording, by the way.
I mean, broadcasting it on Pirate Radio.
All right. That's not going to happen until we start paying $40 a month.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bailey.
Where was I? Okay, it looks like that's... Yeah, I can see that you have nothing to report, and Thomas also has nothing to report. So are we good to move on to the agenda items? Yeah? Okay. So first item is the upcoming GA in Geneva. So there's a proposal here. I will just read it. It was decided during the special GA meeting last week that we would have a small forum GA in Geneva at the end of November. This GA will involve a small group of board members and participants who attend on-site at the UN and a large online constituent. Having the event at the UN will better establish our presence with ECOSOC. The GA will be broadcast with video conferencing through Zoom and additional voting sites, which will facilitate correspondence from participants who are not physically in attendance. As a formality, we are presenting the proposal at the board meeting to ensure that no one has any objections. So the vote here is the second GA of 2017 will take place with a small forum and video conference in Geneva November 25th and 26th. So you guys, did you want to discuss it, or do you want to just go ahead and vote on it and then talk about it? Do it either way.
I just want to make sure that my summary of our meeting is okay. You ready?
Yep. Yep, I definitely, I'm all for that. Ray, you have your hand up?
Yes. Maybe you could share the screen and show on the video what the suggestion is. Or do you want me to do it for you?
You should do it because yeah.
All right, Keith, you should not do that. We should follow what our meeting leader says. Okay?
Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to read that, I mean, I assume everybody has read it. This is more just for people who are watching this recording after.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and vote on this. Ray, we just need your vote.
Yeah, you could stop screen sharing, Keith Goldstein, please. Keith Goldstein, I cannot hear you. Can you mute yourself?
Yes, I'm unmuted. Is my share screen still showing, or is it paused?
No,
It-
it's still, now it's not showing anymore.
Okay, sorry.
So yeah, thank you.
Zoom takes a little while to get used to. I find it confusing myself still, even though I've used it a bunch of times. All right, so has everybody voted? Ray, I think we just need yours. Awesome. So this motion has passed. So we are going to have this GA in Geneva, November 26th or 25th and 26th, sorry. Sounds good. So we have a few things to talk about regarding this, from what I understand. Guillaume, you brought up some stuff in your report.
Yep. For the location of the in-situ meeting, do you want it smoking or non-smoking, guys?
I'm sorry. Can you try to ask the question again? Do we want what? Smoking or non-smoking?
Smoking or non-smoking facilities?
Facilities. What do you mean?
The room and everything else.
Sorry.
Do you want to be able to smoke during the General Assembly or not?
The non-smokers decide this. So, which one of us are non-smokers? Then Keith decides whether or not we can smoke or not.
I won't be the mean one to say you can't smoke, so I abstain on this vote.
No, you can't do that. It's very simple.
I have to allow it because it can't be my fault that you all can't smoke. So I won't. It won't bother me.
All right.
Okay. So I'll have us a location for about 10 people that allows us that caters for us to be smoking.
Right. Do we know the date so we can start ordering tickets and not $100?
The dates are the 25th and 26th, correct?
Yeah, I've been asking for a few days now. If we could get the dates confirmed, are they really confirmed?
That's what we just decided. I'll make it happen for the 25th, 26th.
All right. I'll ask the question in another way so that it is. If I spend $1,000 tomorrow on plane tickets, will you change your mind the day after or the next week so that I lose $1,000? Yes or no?
I won't change. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
it's 100% then. It's happening. It's good. We can start booking tickets.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, this is good, guys. This is good. We have a plan. We can work out like the other little details, but we have dates, and that's the main thing. We can start making it happen.
Yep.
Just one question. As far as inviting and the other members to this General Assembly, we need to send a mail soon. And in that mail, we're going to have to be specific about allowing people to attend and in other information.
Well, that will naturally follow over time. We know the specifics.
We'll use the usual process that we are always using.
Ray, have your hand up.
We have a chair for this meeting. Let's try to communicate with her as to. Sorry, I haven't had I haven't had smokes for a day and a half, so I'm a little bit annoyed at everything. Forget about that. I'm thinking somewhere in my head is a misunderstanding, or the misunderstanding is elsewhere. The proposal that we went through on our last meeting was a combined meeting where the board members congregated in Geneva, and we added a meeting chair and secretaries. But there's no invitation to come to Geneva for other members. They all participate remotely. That was the proposal, and maybe something has happened in the meantime, because just now Keith was talking about inviting people to the GA, and it sounded like he wanted to invite them physically to Geneva. So can we be clear on that, so I don't get even more confused?
Okay, Thomas, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I believe we should send out the real invitation, even given the physical address, because we can't hinder other people attending us in real life. But we need to know the details. If there's just room for such as to say 10 people, there needs to be some more specifics for the people to be sent out. But that's to be clarified by Guillaume.
Oh, Ray.
So of course nobody said anything about hindering people. The first time that word was used was by you, Thomas. Inviting people to come to a particular address by using the words, we hereby invite you to come to a room for 10 people. It doesn't matter if you're 20. That won't be a problem at all, and we don't have to get a new meeting room. Saying that in an email does not really won't work. So if you say the meeting will take place there and there, but you are invited to attend remotely via Zoom, is better. No. Thank you.
Thomas?
Yeah, Ray, exactly the way I would write it down, because, sorry, I believe we all have some experience about it, and even the wording. So I'd say I believe that item seems to be clarified. Let's carry on, please.
Okay. Anything else on that?
I was actually trying to speak with Keith on this. Keith, would you clarify? You were talking about sending out an invitation. Did you think physically inviting people, or did you think about?
I just think we will have a few extra people, and we should have a few extra people besides just the board members in physical attendance. Probably the majority coming from the Swiss Pirate Party, but I mean, we have to allow, I think, anyone that really would like to be there that opportunity. Obviously, within limited seating, but we're going to write an email announcing that we're having it. We're encouraging everyone to attend online. I think we can work out the wording later. So why don't we just handle that draft of the email in a pirate pad, and we'll clarify later.
Yeah. Can I have the word?
Yeah.
It goes a little bit something like this. If we now, if we deal with this later in the pad in a couple of days, it all goes wrong because Guillaume is about to book a room for these dates for up to 10 people. So there's a sequence to things. We have to decide how we're going to do this now so that Guillaume can book the right size meeting. That's why I bring this up now. So we can't just deal with it later. We have to deal with it now, or we lose another week and another week and another week. So I'm asking my board, fellow board members, what they think. The original idea was to have the board members plus a professional meeting chair if we can find one, plus secretaries and minute takers. So that's why I think Guillaume says up to 10 people. Do we want to have people in attending, watching this, like Keith is saying might be possible? If we do, we have to have a bigger room. Do we have money for a bigger room, or is the room for free? I don't know.
Okay, I'm already looking at rooms, and I have a little idea. There is an old ship up in the old town of Geneva, and if you look at the link that I've shared in the chat room, you will see that it actually is in part a restaurant, and there is a large private room upstairs that is served by the restaurant. So the deal is fairly basic. We have the room for the whole day, and we eat there. And if you look at the menus, I think that caters for everybody. Now that said, the only very expensive cost that will incur is the parking fees for the car, for the ones that will come with a car. For the rest, it will be very easy to get there. It's central. It's in the historical part of Geneva, and it's fun because it's a nice fun because it's called the Navy bar, New Navy Bar actually is the real name, but the fun part of it is it really looks like an old ship when you entered the place.
Cool.
And it has, yes. Bailey, there is Ray that waves his hand.
Yeah, were you done talking, or?
Yep, I am.
Okay, Ray.
Okay, I'm probably having a bad morning. I cannot seem to nail this this thing down. Last time we talked about Geneva. We talked about having the meeting room at the UN because of our ECOSOC membership, and that was free. Are we now planning on having renting a meeting place, and what will that cost? And how many less board members do we expect to be able to fly in because of that?
The point is the ECOSOC room. Ray, I'll answer you to that. The ECOSOC rooms are reserved for activities within the UN, meaning to promote us within the UN, to prepare for workshops and such things. Organizing a GA on the premises of the UN as a first occupation of the space that we can access might not be a good signal to the UN. Furthermore, I think that they wouldn't bode well that kind of way to use the facilities that they provide. However, for the day that we are in Geneva and working in Geneva, there won't be any problem using the location there and have a conference room there during the day. So for the Friday, there is no problem. For the General Assembly, it is not in on the UN premises that we can do it.
How far is it from the UN? This place that you showed us.
15-minute tram ride.
One more time.
15-minute tram ride.
15 minutes. Thank you.
You take the streetcar in front of the UN, and it's 15 minutes down the road.
Bailey, do you see the videos? Do you see the videos of the people?
Yeah.
Okay, look at Keith now.
Oh, sorry, Keith. I can only see like 4 people at a time on top, and I was just kind of listening, but go for it.
I was just going to ask a simple question. So what is the capacity of the restaurant location? How many people are we expecting?
About 10 people, a little bit more. We can cram in about, we have been there for board meetings and stuff like that with 20 people in the room.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Ray, or?
So the question was, to go back 7.5 minutes, the question was, do we allow or deny or simply not invite an audience to our General Assembly? That's the question that decides whether or not we can use the room that Guillaume has pointed to now. Can we discuss that and get it over with?
May I speak, please?
Yep.
Just to let you know, we know how to formulate it. We won't hinder people attending. We will invite for us to be there, and we cannot. We might have guests, but we will invite for a video conference.
So no audience then.
If people show up, we can't hinder them to show up. But we need to have a physical address somehow, so we will have that address, and that will be sent out to the world as well. And if people show up meeting with us, no problem. But they need to know there is limited space only, that's it. It's part of the formulation of the invitation, nothing else.
Okay. So there's limited space, but from what I'm getting, we'll have a little bit of flexibility there. Like if a few extra people were to show up, like we're obviously not inviting everybody. Like it's not like a full-on like physical GA. It's going to be mostly the board, but like I guess if a few extra people were to show up, we would we could accommodate that, I guess, or like there's a little bit of flexibility there. That's what I'm gathering.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's good. Anything else? Oh, Ray?
So we are inviting people to an online GA. Fine, that's beautiful. Now it's clear in my head. Thank you. Bailey?
Okay. Anything else on this topic? No? Everybody's good? Everybody's on the same page? All right. Next item is the 2018 GA. So I can go through this. I just want to make one, I don't know, maybe a suggestion, but more just like throwing this out there. For the 2018 GA, just because it is kind of far off, do you think that this is something that we could make a final decision on at our November GA and have like member input on that? Because I know that part of it is also getting people out to think twice. And I know that there's, you know, like there's not a lot of people signing up to go to Think Twice right yet. I don't know, like I'm just throwing this out there. Like, what do you guys think about, like making, like, maybe leaving this decision until the November GA when we have a bunch of members together talking with us and stuff? Or do you think we should make this decision right now? Thomas?
I would say, Michael, let us make the decision today, so people are prepared in time.
Okay. Do you guys agree with that? We should like decide today.
Okay, I'm waving, but
Yeah.
you can't see me. That's all right. I'm finding it a little bit strange that we are deciding on the place and the time of the 2017 PA, and all of a sudden at the same day we have to decide on the 2018. There's something that doesn't quite compute here, and we haven't really polled or asked our members what they think about a Jerusalem GA. We know that it's sort of a special venue. So maybe not waiting until the GA to make a decision on it, but at least informing our members and talking with them for a few days, informing them about it before we make the formal decision. I pose this as a question. Is it natural that we let the membership have the possibility to react to venue and time? Thank you, Bailey.
What do you guys think of that? Any thoughts? Keith, this is mostly your, you've been spearheading this. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, I mean, again, one obvious scenario is that when we're sending out this invitation that's inviting everyone for the GA but not inviting them to be present, it would be nice to have an announcement about the GA where they can attend. If you all want to put the decision off until our next board meeting and to try and get feedback in the meantime, that's fine. I don't mind that it's not crucial that we get a decision on this immediately, but it would be good. I have a feeling we're going to have a bit of a pushback from people who are expecting a GA where they can attend in the near future.
Right. That's a good point too, is that people would probably like knowing about future plans, especially since the November GA isn't going to be a physical one. But Ray?
Yeah. I think this should be the last time that we actually press so hard that there is a difference between a physical and an online GA. What we're planning to do is a combined thing that sort of deletes the lines between real life and online. So if we could start using words that aren't negatively laden about it, that would be great. But it is a good point that we that we should give people an opportunity to know that we are planning an early GA next year, where attending physically will be possible. Is it, because it's such a good point from Keith, is it prudent to actually postpone the decision about the meeting, in the 2018 GA, to the next board meeting? Then when we inform in email about the 2017 GA, we add on that we are planning to have the next GA in Jerusalem in 2018, but we would like your feedback on that. That way they have an opportunity to respond.
Thomas, you got your hand up?
Yep. Well, I know we've discussed it for quite a while by now. We've had a meeting last Sunday, the last Sunday before that, and we just said, well, we go for this and say, well, today we decide upon it. Today we sit here and as of now we are thinking about rethinking it, postponing it, adding other people to it, all stuff we have discussed in the past. So I'm sorry, I tried to keep my words in a good way. We should go for it, should go for a decision. And I won't like to postpone it again, because people like to know there is a conference. We are in Israel, most of us do probably, and we were going for it as in the economic way, to have an additional day to it, to have the GA mostly physical plus the video. So people can meet up and to have the opportunity in two ways, either to attend the Think Twice conference plus the GA. So I'd like to go for a vote, please.
Yes, let me just quickly here. You're eager to get a vote today, but are you sure? Are you sure you have listened to the whole board? Are you sure you are going to get a majority? Are you sure you're going to get a vote that goes the right way? I think listening to the signals here might be important before you're asking for a vote. If you want it to go in a certain direction, maybe not rushing to it is a good idea.
Raymond, directly, we discussed it last Sunday to say, well, today at board meeting we go for a formal decision. That's what we decided last Sunday. Sorry, and the board was present.
The board was present, yeah. The board was present about deciding about the 2017 GA, yes.
No, both. We had both of them, both going for the formal decision today.
Well, sure. Let's go for a formal decision. It'll be an interesting one. I promise you that.
Okay. Keith, Guillaume, any input on this?
Apart the peculiars of Ray and quite a few people that are hindered to travel freely in various countries. The point being, if we do it in Jerusalem or not, is he in one sense, and in the other, we have exactly the same things for others, for other locations. I mean, if you do that in the US, you will have probably 70% of the board that will be barred from entering the US. So it is a peculiar situation. Now that said, I think that the proposal in itself is fairly sound, because it enables people gather to meet and to discuss with others, and probably people that might not have traveled to Europe for a General Assembly. And doing a General Assembly somewhere else around the world isn't a bad idea in itself. Now, that said, it is always problematic when we have a country that has issues, or where we don't know exactly the whereabouts and the stance in regards to specific individuals. And I understand the frustration of Ray as to not being able to attend a physical General Assembly because of the amount of networking that occurs there, and the whole in vivo part of it. In that respect, I'm split in between the two, but for me, there is no hurdle in itself that we do a GA, a physical, quote-unquote physical GA, whereas we have already changed the modus operandi and said that we wanted to have General Assemblies where people that are remote or in situ being treated equally. And in that respect, we have no more difference, and we shouldn't be referring to a GA being online or not online. A GA is a GA. We're not catering for 200 people. That's fine, because we're offering the video facilities now for people to discuss, and the way that we do it now is very effective, and that is something that is positive. Now, the point being, do we do it in Jerusalem or not? I think that, or do we co-host it in Jerusalem or not? That is a point of discussion, and I think that the board is not going to be unanimous on this decision, given the personals of each board member.
Right. Let's just get rid of a misunderstanding here. I don't have a problem with the fact that I can't go to Israel. If I had a problem with not being able to go to Israel, I wouldn't have had ran 4, or was it 5 op Israels. So I have no problem with that. I have a problem with Israel, the government of Israel, the IDF, the Mossad, but not the people of Israel, of course. So that's not relevant at all. What is very relevant is to ask our members what they think about it. There are moral, ethical implications, and at least giving them a chance to respond to our plan seems to me to be a good thing. Now, if my fellow board members think that I agreed to let's go ahead and decide next year's 2018 GA, they're mistaken. I must have meant 2017, the formal decision of the 2017 GA. And going on to this pad, I don't remember what line it was. There's one proposal that says March 5th, Jerusalem, and I can't vote for that. I have to vote no.
Can I just interject? I mean, I don't want any conflict here to go beyond the board, and I can understand, as obviously Ray's obvious no vote if you literally can't attend and other issues. So I would be willing that I think it's best that we think about this communicate among ourselves. I don't think it's a good idea to wait till the next GA to put this up, but I'm willing to give this until the next board meeting. We can vote on this then. Does that
I
sound?
second that.
Okay. I think that that's a very reasonable plan for today, is not make a decision on it today, but also not waiting until November. I think that's a really good suggestion, that we wait until the next board meeting. And I think that we should have a serious conversation about this between now and then, all of us, and just have the difficult discussions and be straight up about any potential problems, any concerns. Like, we need to have like some real talk around this subject, clearly. So if I mean, that's how I feel about it. I like the idea of waiting until the next board meeting. What do you guys think about that? I know, Ray, you said that you're for that. Thomas,
I second Keith's proposition.
Yeah, okay. Thomas, are you okay with that?
Just go for it.
Okay. All right, so so we're not going to make a decision on this today. I think what we should maybe make a decision on is when we are going to have a discussion about this. Ray, you got your hand up?
Yeah, the most important thing, the only reason why I am pushing the decision is because I want to inform the members, so we can get feedback from them. If there is silence or even good feedback after Keith writes a few great words why it's great to have it in Jerusalem. If 20 people comes back and say it's a great idea, go for it, then everything is peach-a-dory, and I can vote for yes for it too. So the counter proposal here is to push the decision to the next board meeting and inform our members about our plans on Jerusalem. And as such, that's my proposal, and the other people in the board must comment on it. Should we give Keith the job of writing that email?
I will write the email.
Okay, awesome.
Any objections to that?
Nope. Sounds good. Okay. So Keith's gonna write the email. So yeah, we're gonna be reaching out to members to get their feedback on this idea. Do we also want to have a deeper discussion about this as a board? Like, I mean, we could set a meeting time to do this, or we could just, chat in Wire or something like we always do. Or we could just not talk about it anymore. Like, I'm just throwing things out there because there's disagreement on this, and I just want to see everybody get on the same page, whatever that looks like. So just before we leave this subject for now, like, what do you guys feel is most appropriate?
I don't think we need to have another full meeting on this. I think we're just going to talk in circles. So I think people can just send an email and people can reply to that. I'll even set up a Lumio thread or something like that if you want to make it more organized. But let's just move efficiently. And I think we can move on to another issue on our schedules because we're losing too much time in this.
Okay. All right. Let's do that then. The next item on our agenda here is ECOSOC.
Not done much, I must admit. I've been swamped with HR issues within the Swiss Pirate Party. So I haven't had time to spend for PPI issues. My bad. Well, a part of the meeting with the Director of the Interior of the State of Geneva, nothing much on that front. I will ping with other people, look at the hot initiatives they have currently, looking also at ways to interact more there. In Switzerland, we have a new vice president, which will take care of international relations, Carlos Polo. He is in Geneva. He lives in Geneva, and he's very interested by the ECOSOC environment. So I'll let him also have a piece of that as part of his work, and see how we can proceed there.
Cool. All right, sounds good, Guillaume. Anything else on that issue, guys? No? All right, so we'll move on then. Pirate Awards, is this something that we want to talk about here? It's on the agenda. I'm just going through what's on the agenda, but if we can always skip over stuff.
We'll skip on that.
Okay, we're going to skip on that item. Next is Think Twice Conference. Yep.
So I'm just, I've been contacting people individually. I wanted to, number one, I want to get the website up and running, and I saw is not working. And I really would like us to set up a proper looking website, because right now it's kind of hard and embarrassing to keep forwarding this. So that is a big issue, as well as our own website, which I will bring up in a second, which is even a bigger issue. But I have been communicating with our local people. We've basically been inviting people by email. So, and I would hope you all can as well. And that's basically it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Keith. Does anybody have anything to add to that?
I have a question. What is Kuhn Holding? What is holding? What is Kuhn Holding? No. How can I formulate that correctly? Damn it. What are the hurdles Kuhn is facing to hand over the website and the domain name? Are there any issues?
So I wrote to him, and he told me he sent in a ticket, and it should be handled within a week. But that was about 3-4 weeks ago. So, and I've written several times on this. My question is, actually, there's a very good website, the one that Thomas sent that includes the first Think Twice conference. If we can just write over that website, that's a great website as well.
Okay. That would mean that we need to update the site, migrate it to the new platform. I'm just thinking aloud to expedite the work, but yeah, we have full control of that website, and there is no problem with that. Of course, it is not as nice and spiffy as the one that Kuhn showed, but at least it's available. That can be done quickly, I think, and even have you granted the access, Thomas?
Future me, I haven't. There's some things you might regret.
We're listening to music right now.
So, sorry, I'm going to take care of it. But I do not know who's got the real access right now, but I believe that's on our server, so we'll take care of it.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? No? Okay. All right. We're going to move on then. Social media updates, we're going to skip that. Video campaign, we're going to skip that one too. Monthly outreach meeting, like I said in my report, I'm going to send out the poll for that. Sorry, I was going to say tomorrow again, but today, since it's Monday now. Today it'll like early Tuesday at the latest, but I'm gonna try and get to it today. I've just been working a lot, honestly, so I haven't really had a lot of time to do a lot for PPI. But yeah, I will get on that, and we will have our outreach meeting. Server update, or does anybody have anything to add or comment on the outreach meeting? I assume no. Okay. All right, so next item is, yeah, it's the server update.
Yeah, still ongoing for the one part. At the moment, we're still waiting for an answer from Google support because there are some implications about moving those addresses, but that is taken care of by Architectonic. They set up a lot of stuff right now. We do have a web page at Interim, which will be moved later to the real server, but that will be just one-to-one. The pp-international.net at the moment is rerouted to Pirate Party's net. So we are available somehow, and the rest is still ongoing.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Thomas. Anybody have anything else to add to that? No. No, we're good to move on. All right. Statutes revision. Anything on that? No. We can just. Oh, Keith.
I actually did look it over again, and so there's still a bit of work. I just gonna put in there. I think we have a deadline 1 month before the GA. We're gonna have to work on that.
Yep.
But it's all prepped in there, so I mean, it's just going to be like we'll have to have a meeting 1 month before the GA.
All right. Good to know. Okay, moving on. Article on using online democracy tools. I think that was
no update. Lack of time, but will come.
Yep. No worries. Next is podcasts. We're gonna skip that one. Pirate research.
I put that up, and I thank you for your feedback, Guillaume and Thomas and others. There is a lot of opportunity there. I really feel that this could be one of those things that really could define us as an organization. That we are an organization that does research and activists with proper information. We could feed that into our other campaigns, but that we do surveys and polls that are done scientifically. Furthermore, publications with our name on it are great. And if you might notice in my recent publication for Young, I did cite my position at PPI. And so whatever we can do to get our name out there in respected international forums is great. So I would like to have a special meeting on that, but not necessarily with the board members, preferably with other potential research partners. This would be a collaborative effort, hopefully between two universities with support from PPI. And so if any of you have any academic contacts directly that you want me to get in contact with, or please forward them the draft of the proposal and have them contact me directly.
Good stuff. Anything else on that? Anybody want to add anything? No? Cool. Yeah, I think it'll be cool if we can get, you know, get people doing research and stuff. Finances.
I just moved this to the last, we decided in the last meeting we moved ECOSOC to the top. So I, in doing so, moved finances, which was first, to the bottom. And I don't have any specific updates. We did receive an individual membership request. I saw that strangely came through email. Did you all see that? I don't know if that was just someone wrote in themselves as an individual member without making a payment of it. Normally it's, maybe we need to create a registry of individual members though.
Probably a good idea. I did see that email, but then I just completely, like, it just completely slipped my mind until now. But yeah, I think you're right. I think there should be, we should have something.
Yes, however, individuals shouldn't be handled in the same way as affiliate organization, and they might not be exposed publicly. In Switzerland, if you're a member of a political organization, you have the right to privacy, and in that respect, your name has not to be published.
Just a point here that until now, we have been publishing their names on our finances as we've been reporting the donations that they made.
Then it should be removed, and just the membership due should be published.
Okay. Perhaps when we get the website running again, we want to have this option. Would you like, and this is an option on most crowdfunding, would you like your donation to be anonymous?
It is a membership is not a donation. It is a membership fee.
Okay, but it includes a donation. So just in the, I think it would be a good idea that when we do later, when we set up our website again, that we have an extra box. Would you like your name to be published, or do you wish to remain anonymous? Because a lot of people would really like the world to know. Most people would like the world to know that they are individual members of PPI, that they're contributing members, although some might like to be anonymous.
That they're a contributor is one thing, that they're a member is a different thing.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else on that?
Just the bank balance is 2,142.72 at the present time. That's what my little app tells me.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that number?
2,000. Hold on. I'll put it myself in. 2142.72. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, cool. Anything else on finances? No, that's it? Okay, we can move on. Any other business? We have internet party, no updates, and pursuance project, no update. You guys have anything else you wanna talk about before we end the meeting? No?
Nope.
All right then, I guess that brings us to the end. So, The next meeting will be on Sunday, October the 8th, at 1400 Central European Summertime. And yeah, thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you, Dominic, for being here, our listener. And yeah, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. I stopped the recording.